James, good scoreline at Hemel. Always a difficult place to come. Weather conditions pretty poor to start off with the rain that we travelled down in. But you must be pleased with that result in the end.
More pleased with the way we performed, I think, than the result. Showed a lot of improvements in a lot of areas. I think it's difficult. No, it is a difficult place to come. The atmosphere is a lot different than what you're used to when you play at say Leeds or Doncaster and places like that. So, the lads walking through the gates here, it's got to give a big rap on them for bringing the sort of intensity that they've brought. It is a difficult place to get yourself up to play. I've played here, and I know that. Sometimes the grounds that you come to in this league are not as glamorous as other places, and it is sometimes, if you've played at an higher level, which a lot of our boys have, you find it hard to motivate yourself, and I thought they were brilliant in that regard. We came and we were aggressive, we were intense for the full 80 minutes.
Got a good start and 6-0 up, but then got pegged back to 6 apiece. It could have fallen away a little bit there and become a bit of an arm wrestle, but again, some character shown and really grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. Yeah,
I think that's what pleases us most, is we put ourselves in a position in the first half to take the game away from them at 18-6, and we made some really poor decisions back to back on 3 sets. First with the ball, then without the ball, and then again with the ball. So three sets either side of the ball. We made some real poor decisions and cost us a penalty and a lot of territory. Poor decision in this end when we could have scored. I think on 2 occasions we could have scored, and we made poor decisions to stick the ball. Jose and Danny Hansen made a kick on play 2 which went into touch, and it just give them a little bit of momentum. And I think the tails were up a little bit, and they thought, oh, actually we might be able to get back into this. I think had we killed those 2 chances, and I didn't give the penalties away to let them out of their own end, I think the game would have been put to bed before half time. I think we could have been in a similar position we were on 50 minutes, on 35 minutes. I think we just we learned from that, though. We spoke about it at half time. We came out the second half and we put right what we spoke about, and those little bits and pieces what we tried to fix up, make us a bit more ruthless, I think the word is we probably want to use. That's what we did, and second half was a lot better.
Some good movement in that second half, some really good late passing, and the half pack starting to dominate the opposition and make some decisions to actually go and hit through the line and then give a ball out to supporting players that created a lot of space to actually either score or get downfield well. Yeah,
that you're telling me that we were creating space on a field what's 10 metres smaller in width than a normal field. So if we're creating space on a pitch this small, then we must be doing something right. There really shouldn't be any space on this field. Defensively, each player's got 1 metre less to defend in the defensive line. A, B and C will be spaced at 2 metres. It's really tight spacings between defenders, and if you're creating space, your lines are honest, you're playing square, and you're reading hips pretty well if that's what you're doing on a pitch this small. And I think we did that second half, like you said. The halfbacks give themselves another yard, give themselves a little bit more time, but still played right in the teeth of the defence, which obviously makes it harder to read. So yeah, they were.
And some good go forward from the forwards as well. There was some real intensity with them to punch holes.
Yeah, again, half time we spoke about, there's 13 blokes in front of you trying to stop you get upfield. No matter how good your shape is or how good your execution is, if you've not got that willingness to run through them men in front of you, you're not going to do it, because defensively they're going to put themselves in front of you, no matter what shape you put out them. More often than not, there's going to be a player to beat. And if you've not got that aggression or that desire to run through him, especially coming out of yardage, you're not going to gain any momentum, you're not going to gain any ground. And I think in particular Jose sort of led the way on that. I think he came on and he sort of set the standard for everybody else, and everybody else seemed to pick up and go with him. So I was impressed the way he played, and I think he did bring a lot of that punch what you're talking about.
Do you see confidence growing in the side now after 3 victories, and players seem to be starting to believe in themselves and believe that they can do things that they probably wouldn't have done early season?
Yeah, definitely. I think the other thing is there's now very strong competition for places. Muffa came back in today, George came back in today. Unfortunately, Muffa's got back in because Flinny's been ill, and now Flinny's got a job on to get back in the team. So that type of thing, it just creates that much competition and it increases performance, because the standard of training has to be higher, to warrant getting a spot back in that side. The other one is, you've got to look at that we've got 3 of our, probably you would have said at the start of the season, starting front row was missing. You would have said that Coventry, Reed and Haley would have been in the 17. I think anybody in right in the club would have made that decision and said that they were the better front rows we had. But right now is who do I leave out? So the competition is going to be healthy, and like I said, people are getting more and more confident. So competition and confidence is going to breed some good performances, I'm hoping.
Right. Well done on today. Next week Challenge Cup, so it's a slightly different game, particularly going away to Halifax, but all the best for next week.
Yeah, it's a good test for us. I think it's something that we can have a look at, where we're actually at, and they'll play at a different speed to what this game was played at, and probably any game we've played so far this year. The tempo of the game will be a lot higher, so give our lads an opportunity to test themselves at that sort of speed and that sort of intensity, and it'll only be good going into the games we've got coming up. We play Whitehaven the week after, we've got some big players, and they'll play with a lot of speed and a lot of intensity coming directly out of Championship. A lot of the players have stayed on from last year, so that'll be a massive test for us after Halifax. So Halifax will be a good warm-up for that.
Okay, well done again.
Cheers, mate, thank you.